Hey, everybody, happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. We've got some good stuff planned for today. The first thing I want to remind you is be sure you have something to write with, some paper, some pen or pencil, because we are going to do writing. We are going to take a picture of it and upload it. And it is part of your grade. So if you need to pause the video, pause it right now, grab you some paper and something to write with, and come back when you're done. Alrighty, happy Friday. It's September the 25th. So glad you're here. Today we will free write and then use figurative language and details to revise and make our writing more vivid and easier to connect with. I will write and then revise my writing while being aware of genre expectations. And our close is our discussion question. How did it feel to just write what's on your mind? Because that's what we're going to be doing today. And my students usually love this way of writing, and I think you will too. So today is a good day. If you're not in a good mood, if you don't like writing, awesome. It's okay to feel how you feel, but let's be positive on purpose. So let me hear you. Let's do some positive affirmations. Say them out loud or in your head. What are you? I'm smart, confident, and successful. Awesome, me too. And how do you feel about writing? I love writing. It's so much fun. And how do you feel about getting your work done? It's so cool. I love getting my work done. Awesome, you rock. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get to it. All right, so that's exactly what we just did. I made this for everybody. So right now, get paper and pencil. You should already have it. We're going to be doing wet ink writing. And the idea is that you don't stop writing until the 2 minutes are up. And you just write whatever's on your mind. So you tell us, what are you thinking about? How are you feeling? We're going to write for 2 minutes nonstop and just keep going. Write whatever comes to mind. Just keep writing. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. You should already have pencil or pen and paper to write on. Relax. And this is just what you're thinking. That's all you're writing. Ready, set, go. Whatever you're thinking, write that down. If you don't know what to write that down. I don't know what to write. Yep, write that. Keep going. Tell us more. Keep going. If something else comes to mind, jump to that. Write about that too. You're a good writer. You're doing great. Keep writing. What else do you have to say? What details can you tell? Keep going. How do you feel? "30 seconds left. Whatever you're writing is fine. You're doing great. Keep going. You got this." Keep going. Time's almost up. You're smart, confident, and successful. Super cool. You rock. I hope you enjoyed that process of getting your writing done. And you wrote on paper. So now, take a breath. Stop for a second. Think about what you wrote. Look over your writing. And yeah, look at the poem you wrote. Oh, you didn't know you were writing a poem? Awesome. That's why we did it that way. Remember how I told you poetry is about emotion. So whatever you were feeling, whatever you wrote about, yep, that's a poem. We don't just write love poems. We write poems when we're happy, when we're angry, when we're nervous, when we don't know what to write. Some of my favorite poems have been from kids who don't know what to write. So what you wrote today, hey, that's a poem. And be proud of yourself. So what I want you to do is circle the parts that stand out for you. Wow, I really like the way I said that. Or that's kind of cool or kind of funny. Whatever stands out, circle it. You want to find at least two things. And then think about the emotions that are attached to the writing. Are you angry? Or are you in love? Or are you feeling hate? Are you bored? Are you sleepy? Whatever it is, write it down out to the side. Label what you circle. So you're circling, you're writing the emotion out to the side. Do it at least two. Go ahead and pause this video until you're ready to go. So the example of the writing, this is from a student of mine I had about 5 years ago named Sam. And Sam was your average kid, oh, hey, poetry's stupid. And of course, he's a good person. He wrote anyway because he's smart, confident, and successful. And here's what he wrote. Let's go through the process of what Sam did. What's on my mind? Nothing really. I can't think of anything to write. It's probably because I'm hungry. I could never think good when I'm hungry. It's okay because lunch is in a minute or so I can wait. I still can't think of anything to write, so I'm just going to write a bunch of random things. Today we have a basketball game. I want to win bad. And that was Samuel's grade. Hallelujah. He did a 2-minute free write. And just like I'm going to ask you to do, right? You're supposed to circle the things that stand out to you. So Samuel circled two different things. This is one thing. It's just on 2 lines, so it's 2 circles. And Samuel said, I can never think good when I'm hungry, right? He wants to go eat. He's hungry. So Samuel said, well, what emotion goes with that? And I coached him a little bit, and he's impatient. Man, I don't want to wait. I want to go to lunch now. Get out of my English class. Good for you, Samuel. And then he says, I want to win bad. He wanted to win that basketball game. So he came out being eager. He's anxious. He wants to win. So those were Samuel's 2 things. Just like you should have 2 things too. And then you take them and you're going to create similes for them. Remember, you're supposed to think about the intensity of the emotion. So if you're writing a very serious poem, you're going to use a different simile, right, with different connotations than somebody who writes a fun poem about wanting to eat and win a basketball game. Remember, like we talked about earlier in the week or last week, right? Very different connotations. I'm sad like a little boy who dropped his ice cream cone versus I'm sad like a mother whose child is dying of cancer. Huge difference. So this is a fun little poem that Sam wrote. So that's the kind of similes he's going to come up with. So for impatient, I coached him, worked with him, and he came up with impatient like a kid standing in front of a candy store waiting for the doors to open. So that's perfect connotation, same kind of emotion coming through, and it makes you picture it, right? You can picture a kid waiting for the doors to open. And then eager, anxious. Well, Sam's got a sense of humor. He says, I want to win like a bald guy wants hair. And that's funny because that's his personality, right? So then he took those and he added and he revised and he rewrote. And here's his poem, Waiting. I can never think good when I'm hungry. It's okay because lunch is in a minute or so I can wait. But I still feel like a kid with money waiting for the candy store to open. There's that simile. You can tell he revised it a little bit more, right? Today we have a basketball game. Coach said the other team's not so good, but we still got to be ready. I want to win bad. I want to win now. I want it like a bald guy wants hair. And then the final line that he added in, maybe someday I'll learn to be patient. That's a good poem. He got a good grade on this. But he wasn't quite finished, right? We have to think about line breaks and how we want our readers to read it. So after Sam played with his line breaks, here was his final version. And yeah, he got a good grade on this. Of course he did. So remember how I talked about lines being enjambed, which means there's no punctuation, right? And it makes the reader keep going, go faster. And then he has some lines that are end stopped. And that makes you stop and think. So you kind of have to decide, where do you want your readers to pause and slow down? And if you really want them to stop, well, then you definitely end the line with a period or even with a comma. So let's look at the line breaks that Sam chose here. He made 1, 2, 3, 4 stanzas, right? Longer one, smaller, smaller, smaller. And let's read through it. So I can never think good when I'm hungry, and stop, period. It's okay because lunch is in a minute or so, comma, and stop. So I can wait. But look at this whole little phrase. He wants you to say it all fast, right? So there's no punctuation there. But I still feel like a kid with money waiting for the candy store to open, and stop. We have a basketball game. Coach said the other team's not so good, but we still got to be ready. Notice he had no punctuation there at the end because he wants you to keep going. I want to win bad. I want to win now, and stop. I want it like a bald guy wants hair, period. And then his final line, set off by itself. I'll wait for that to disappear. Maybe someday I'll learn to be patient. And that's his poem. And that's basically what I want you to do with your writing, right? We've already got our writing done on paper. By now, you should already have sent your picture to the discussion question and posted it along with your commentary about how it felt to write for 2 minutes straight. So then you come into Schoology. And there's a graded discussion, right? You're supposed to put in your picture and your comment. But we'll go back into Friday's work. And writing assignment, graded assignment, poem writing, finished to rough draft. So this is what it looks like. Of course, you're going to put your actual name instead of your name. Mr. Carvajal, what period are you in? First, second, whatever, eighth. And then here's where you type in what you wrote on your paper. Just type it in, however many lines it is. And of course, if it was 10 or 15 lines on paper, it'd probably only be 6 or 5 typed because typing's smaller. But just type in what you have. Once you have it, copy it, paste it on the second page. Here's where you're going to do your revisions. Here's where you add in your similes. And then, of course, as you think about it, put in some onomatopoeia. Put in some personification, some allusions, some alliteration, anything like that, and have fun. Once you have it in, hey, play with the language, play with the syntax, change the word order, do whatever you want to do. Have fun with it, and give me at least 2 stanzas, give me at least 12 lines, and at least 2 similes, and you will get a decent grade on this. If you have any questions for me, just message me. I am here to help you. And remember, you are smart, confident, and successful. I hope you have a great weekend. Get your work done. Get caught up if you're behind. You're a good person. And message me if you need any help. Bye-bye. Take care, everybody.